Good morning, good afternoon, and good day, everyone. It is my great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to this eagerly awaited online webinar focused on Open Network for Digital Commerce, also known as ONDC. I am Pradyum Chaudhary, VP Pre-Sales and AVP Product at locus.sh, and it is my privilege to serve as your host for today's session. In this era of digital transformation, we find ourselves at the cusp of a revolution in the realm of commerce. The Open Network for Digital Commerce, ONDC, represents a paradigm shift, a disruptive force that has the power to reshape the way we engage, transact, and thrive in the digital marketplace. It is an honor to be a part of this monumental movement that holds vast potential for businesses, consumers, and economies at large. Let's look at how can technologies such as Locus can help at ONDC. In today's session, we will look at three major things. First, let's look briefly at the entire ONDC opportunity. Then, we look at an entire checklist on how we leverage the entire ONDC platform. Last but not the least, we look at how everyone would benefit from the entire ONDC network. Before we go into ONDC, the entire user penetration of e-commerce is to grow to up to 74% by 2027. While the entire sector has seen a tremendous growth in the last few years, a bulk of deliveries are still being handled by dominant e-com players. The captive logistics arm of these e-commerce players handle more than 50% of the overall deliveries. This was not only perceived as anti-competitive, but it also hurted the long-term growth of the segment. The e-commerce market in India is expected to reach $120 billion by 2027. This means that the government needs to provide more level playing field into the entire Indian e-commerce startups and also the shipping experience. At the end of the day, users would want a better choice and also a better service. Apart from the main two captive players in the Indian market, there are many new age startups that are catering to this high demand and growth. Out of the numerous e-commerce logistics startups, few like Delivery, Ecom Express, Expressbees are performing exceptionally well. Other players include some established companies such as Blue Dart, Gati, India Post, along with companies such as Shadowfax, who are truly transforming the overall delivery experience for the buyers. Now, why is the entire e-commerce market so competitive? Let's look at the competitive forces for the entire e-commerce market. Let's look at four main pillars. The entry barrier. For today, anyone to start up an e-commerce business, the overall entry barrier is extremely moderate. There are no-code, low-code platforms where companies can just go set up a website and start selling online. Us as buyers have a lot of power. We are filled with choices amongst different websites where we go compare and purchase. However, the overall supplier network is still very weak. There are only limited number of suppliers supplying to all of these e-commerce websites. At the same time, the overall substitution thread for the entire competition is not very high. E-commerce in India is growing and the government needs to ensure that it is anti-competitive. Now, let's look at what is ONDC. A quick introduction to the entire ONDC network and how can we all leverage the power of it. ONDC, which stands for Open Network for Digital Commerce, is an initiative of the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, known as DPIIT, by the Government of India. It is a set of specification designed to foster open, unbundled, and interoperable open networks, thereby eliminating the dependency on one single platform. ONDC is a public infrastructure being created to allow anyone, anywhere, who wants to buy something from someone, or anyone who is selling that service or item. ONDC is a public infrastructure being created to allow anyone, anywhere, who wants to buy something to buy from anyone who is selling that item or service. That means it is trying to create a network where all buyers and sellers are present in a single network and they are able to seamlessly transact with each other. This is a departure from how e-commerce takes place today. Today's commerce takes place platform by platform. So the buyer and the seller both have to be registered to the same platform in order to buy that prospective product or to give the prospective service. Let's take an example. The buyer goes to an application. For example, today we go to a specific application to book a taxi, another application to order food, another application to buy electronics, another application to book our tickets. We have numerous number of applications providing different services or products to us. So each platform has determined their own playing area and what good or service they would be providing. They accumulate providers of that particular set of goods and services, and they also accumulate buyers for those particular services or goods. And each commercial activity then takes place for that particular good or service inside that particular platform. So we can very easily say that there is no interconnectivity or interactivity between these platforms. In simple words, buyers on one application cannot buy from sellers of another applications. The buyer has to go and register in that particular application where the seller is selling that particular product or service. The same way, the seller needs to go ahead and register themselves in multiple applications where they would like to provide this particular service or product to the buyer. In a nutshell, the question which we are trying to answer is, can we create a digital infrastructure that could allow anyone to buy and sell without having to physically interact between two specific platforms? Now, let's look at how the entire ONDC opportunity is giving back the choice to the customers. Let's take an example. Today, Vijay logs into a buyer application and searches for atta. The entire buyer application would show Vijay all the different options or all the different sellers from where he can purchase the atta. The search results which are shown to Vijay would be multiple, such as, for example, a big basket where the entire atta can be fulfilled at rupees 150, for example, with delivery, or a purchase from a Gupta Kirana store where the atta is only rupees 50 without any delivery charges. Today, if Vijay selects a platform such as Big Basket, then Vijay has selected that platform to fulfill the entire order. That means Big Basket would not only just pick and pack the orders, Big Basket would also ship it to Vijay to ensure that the delivery is done on time. However, Vijay does not have a choice of the logistics player. Now, Vijay can also go ahead and choose to make the payment via any particular platform. This particular platform could be via a credit card, debit card, UPI, or even cash on delivery. However, let's say Vijay chooses to make the payment directly via UPI and not going through any particular payment gateway. So the entire buyer application would empower Vijay to go ahead and make the payment via his VPA ID of UPI. Now, let's just look at the entire e-commerce ONDC opportunity. Currently, India's e-commerce market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 19% and reach roughly around 400 billion by 2030. While the India's retail industry currently stands at $1.2 trillion, e-commerce only has roughly around a 7% share in the entire game. This is expected to grow to 11.5% by 2026. With the population of around 1.4 billion people and an internet penetration of around 61%, we have around 930 million internet users, out of which only 160 million of them are shopping online. So we all can imagine the user base we still have to penetrate to. Let's look at how the entire ONDC market has been growing. The entire ONDC opportunity is not limited to any particular sector. We can go and buy food, buy kitchen appliances, buy financial services, buy electronics, buy mobility items, buy fashion, footwear, beauty and also personal care, along with our daily grocery needs via the entire ONDC network. The number of retail merchants on ONDC network has grown 40 times in 2023 so far. The number of retail merchants increased from over 800 in January 2023 to more than 35,000 as we speak currently, while the number of orders increased from a small number of 50 per day to 25,000 orders per day in the last 1 week. This entire growth is applicable both for B2B and B2C. Given that ONDC recently announced its first ever B2B transaction, currently the majority of the volume still comes from B2C. However, with the initiative of bringing in B2B transactions on the ONDC network, we do expect a large growth in the B2B transactions. Currently, the 40,000 sellers which are live are present in over 200 cities, out of which roughly 18,000 sellers operate from few major cities such as Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata and Delhi NCR. While the entire ONDC network has just kick-started to grow, there is a huge potential of a few million transactions happening through it every single day. Let's look at who benefits from ONDC. We've divided this entire thing into 3 parts: benefits for the buyers, benefits for the sellers, and benefits for the technology companies. Let's start with the buyers. Buyers get a single platform to access all different types and categories of products and services. Buyers also get a single platform to access all different types of sellers in each of these different domains. The buyer experience becomes a key differentiator, and price is not just another differentiator. With around 160 million online shoppers in India, the buyers would now start getting a unified experience. They would also see a wider option for price, delivery, and different add-ons. The entire experience of buying would become one of the key differentiating factors for the buyers on ONDC. Now, the sellers can access an entire universe of buyers on a single platform itself. They can go ahead and maintain one single registration and one single platform where they are selling all the different products. They would be able to sell their product at a lower cost. They would also get an autonomy of their own rules and terms. The profitability increases. Buyers also get to experience the sellers across different platforms. Let's look at the benefits for the sellers. First and foremost, the sellers would now be discoverable by an entire universe of buyers. They would just need to maintain a one-time single registration. They would also get some autonomy on rules and terms. Their profitability would increase as the entire margins taken by the platforms as of today goes away. They would have a portable network-wide reputation. The reputation would not be limited to one single platform as today. Last but not the least, they do not have any disintermediation risk, which is very important for the business and the sellers. Third, let's look at the benefits for the technology companies. Number one, companies now get to test their entire technology at scale. They also get to innovate on their strengths. The entire time taken to scale the technology reduces as a single network connects millions of buyers and sellers. It becomes extremely easy for the technology companies to access buyers and sellers on one single platform. Last but not the least, this also brings in a good opportunity for the technology companies to monetize on each and every possible transaction. Well, those were the good parts we saw and the benefits of ONDC. Everything comes with its own challenge too. Let's look at, are there any real challenges in ONDC? A couple of them which we observed till now. To start with, there's an unclear liability of a bad experience. In a decentralized network like ONDC, determining the liability for a bad user experience or a bad delivery is very unclear. The lack of clear framework on assigning responsibility and resolving issues can lead to customer dissatisfaction and hinder the trust in the entire platform and network. A lack of clear return policies. Something extremely important. Uncertainty about the return procedures, eligibility, and associated costs can discourage consumers from making purchase, and this might lead to dissatisfaction with the overall experience. Then, let's look at the lack of differentiation in offerings. What does that mean? Without proper mechanisms to differentiate similar offerings by competitors, the platform will face challenges in showcasing unique features, quality, or value proposition of different products and services. This can result in a homogeneous marketplace where it becomes difficult for consumers to make informed choices and for providers to stand out from competitors. One of the other clear challenges is poor search results. Inaccurate or irrelevant search results really frustrates users. It can impact their experience and also decrease their confidence on the platform. We all love a very good search experience where we are shown the most relevant products of our choices. Hence, it is extremely important that the search results on these platforms should be something which the user enjoys. One of the other real challenges faced is the lack of compatibility and interoperability. If major players are not onboarded or if there are compatibility issues with the existing systems, it can limit the availability of products and services and prevent fair pricing information from being disclosed. This could lead to a lack of transparency and hinder the competition marketplace. Let's look at how improving customer experience as a first mover advantage can help in the entire ONDC network. Initial evidence show that customers using ONDC platform are having to pay less, largely because commissions that platforms were charging are no more in the picture. But it also shows that the post-purchase experience has clearly been lacking. Orders arriving late, no timely updates on order statuses, delivery people not being able to accurately locate the customers are a few challenges which are being faced. So clearly, it is necessary to prioritize the overall customer experience to differentiate your business on this massive network. There are some ways in which you can go ahead and improve the overall consumer experience. Let's look at a few areas. Promising better shipping charges or a transparent shipping option. Allow your consumers to pick their shipping option as per their need instead of enforcing one on them. Have easy modifications and return policies. Proactively and in a timely manner, keep giving updates to your consumers about their orders. Try fulfilling the need on demand instead of a few days. Help the customers or your consumers to get more accurate delivery forecast. Last but not the least, use all the different business insights to empower a better customer experience. So now, let's look at how do we bring about superior customer experience while tapping into the scale that ONDC promises. Well, let's explore 3 possible scenarios to explore the most suitable way to do this. Scenario number 1, with ONDC. Scenario number 2, the business as usual. Scenario number 3, the hybrid model. Now, we would also look at how technology providers such as Locus can help the hybrid model with its in-house solutions. First, let's look at the entire ONDC scenario. A customer logs into a buyer application and searches for earphones. The customer chooses a product and places an order with Pi Electronics and pays for both the product and delivery via the app. The store manager packs the item, books a Dunzo via the Dunzo app, or the store uses its own team member to go ahead and deliver the product. Store manager manually keeps updating the tracking information to the seller platform, which in return brings in the visibility to the end customer. As you see over here, multiple platforms got used to facilitate a single transaction. Let's look at the overall business as usual scenario. Customers log into the seller's website or a marketplace where the customer searches for earphones. The customer gets a curated list with promotions sorted by relevance, the most common thing which all these platforms do. Customer chooses the product and places an order with the seller by paying both for the product and for the delivery. The customer chooses a premium delivery with an option of an open box delivery. The warehouse packs the customer's product, uses a 3PL within its network to ship the product for delivery. At every stage, the customer gets visibility and different value-added services as required, since the seller has a very good control over the entire customer experience. Now, let's look at the hybrid model. The customer logs into a buyer application and searches for earphones. Customer chooses a product, places an order with Pi Electronics, and in last pays for both the product and the delivery on the buyer application. As soon as the order is placed, the store manager packs the item and then logs into the dispatch management platform to find a suitable channel to deliver the order. The delivery of the product could be done via their own captive fleet or also by using any of the logistics players in the entire network. The platform will provide the seller ONDC system with an end-to-end real-time update with all the different statuses and updates to the order, which can then be broadcasted to the customer. This is a similar path for customers purchasing orders through an app, platform, or marketplace in today's world. Now let's look at what is the tech checklist for hybrid model on ONDC. Number one, the most important. Let's start with customer experience. Ensuring that a superior customer experience across the entire end-to-end value chain, starting from the purchase to the payment to the shipping, is extremely important. Even during the peaks and surges, ensuring that there is a real-time update of all the orders to the consumers is extremely important, irrespective of how they are being fulfilled and how they would be delivered. It is important that consumer experience is also looked through multiple modes of communication. Then, one of the other key important parts is on how the entire scale-up of fulfillment would happen. Tapping into a large and vast network of reliable third parties, delivery companies, is extremely crucial. This should be done within a few clicks. Then, let's look at how companies with their own captive fleet can also leverage their entire logistics network to do a better delivery each time. Logistics scheduling and routing needs to be a key part of the entire solution from the dispatch management platform. Companies should implement advanced route planning that takes into constraints which are extremely possible in the real world, and also goes ahead and optimizes the entire delivery cost while ensuring exceptional customer experience. Last but not the least, customers would also need to look at how the overall order management and capacity planning is happening. Automated way of transferring inventory between two warehouses or two nodes becomes extremely important. It is also important to have a smooth planning while keeping in mind the logistics network limitations. While we look into all these four pillars, such as customer experience, scaling up for fulfillment, logistics scheduling and routing, order management, and capacity planning, the data from all these pillars need to be taken and combined for advanced analytics. This is to ensure a great quality of service which can be provided to the entire consumers. It will help in ensuring the different patterns and trends through which decisions can be made. Now let's look at how hybrid last mile fulfillment for leveraging ONDC and other networks can work, and how can a dispatch management platform help you in this entire journey. First, let's understand that within the next 5 years, the ONDC aims to sign up 900 million buyers and 1.2 million sellers, and enabling a gross merchandise value of $48 billion. In the next 2 years, the initiative aims to raise e-commerce penetration in the country to 25% from the current level of 5%. So the entire opportunity is huge, it's large. Let's look at how we can leverage a dispatch management platform for the entire operations. Let me walk you through an entire journey. A consumer goes to a buyer application, purchases a product. Then the seller goes to the seller application to list down their products and services. The seller application is also connected to the seller's dispatch management platform, where as soon as the order comes in, the seller would also be able to provide real-time updates. However, the dispatch management platform might not just be getting orders from the ONDC, it would also be getting orders from other networks. These could be directly from the seller's website or even call centers. All the orders are aggregated into one central order management system. This order management system then uses the different shipping routes to go ahead and plan for the dispatches of all these orders. Once the dispatches are planned, there could be multiple different channels through which the entire fulfillment can happen. Let's break it into three particular parts. Number one, the entire delivery could happen via your own captive fleet. Number two, the delivery could happen through a contracted fleet which works along with your business. Last but not the least, the delivery could also happen from a completely outsourced third-party provider. Now, all of this can be connected into one single dispatch management platform. This ensures that your operations can choose the most suitable delivery channel to fulfill a particular order, and in return, it also ensures a unified customer experience irrespective of how the order is being fulfilled. Leveraging a dispatch management platform for fulfilling your orders in the entire hybrid last mile fulfillment is extremely crucial for a better customer experience and running a profitable business. So, I hope that these insights have been helpful for you. Let's engage in conversations. Let's understand on how we all can work together to ensure a huge success of the entire ONDC and how we all can be a part of this. Looking forward to discussing and engaging with all of you in the near future. Thank you.